Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Madam Shazwani and to all our classmates. We are Group 4 from BA2505B will be presenting our slides about deforestation and species decimation. Firstly, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Siti Nurhalila binti Slamat.
My name is Nurul Madiha Akila. I'm from BA2505B.
My name is Nofara Aina binti Rohazal and my student metric number says 2018248464.
The content of our presentation today will be first, definition and importance, second, the sources or type, third, the effects, fourth, sustainable forest management, fifth, improving or control, sixth, market approach, seven, sustainable development goals or SDGs, and the last one is the conclusion. Definitions. Deforestation can be defined as permanent clearance of forests, usually by cutting or burning over a large area of forest without replanting or natural regeneration. Meanwhile, species decimation is an act of killing or destruction of a large proportion of group or species. Next, we will be talking about the importance of forests and biodiversity. Firstly, forests serve as a home to millions of animals. All these living things such as plants and animals in the forest are called the forest biodiversity, and the interaction with one another in their habitat, which is the forest, is what we call ecosystem. The second one is forests help in climate control. The trees and soil in the forest help to regulate atmospheric temperature by helping to stabilize the climate. Other than that, the trees in the forest also help to enrich the atmosphere by absorbing carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide that is harmful if it is too much in the atmosphere. The third one is forests serve as watershed. The rivers running through forests are also kept cool and avoid from drying out. And the last one is sources of food and medicines. Many natural plants in the forest can be used as medicines. Other than that, we also depend on animals such as fish and meat as our main food sources other than fruits and vegetables. Sources of deforestation and species decimation. One of the main reasons of deforestation is because of agriculture expansion. Many forests have been cleared out in order to make some space for agricultural activities, such as in our country, Malaysia. A lot of wild forests have been cleared out, and then on that land they planted commercial plants like palm oil and rubber trees in order to gain profits.
Infrastructure expansion. Rapid development has caused many urban areas to expand to meet the needs of the local population and for the achievement of the goal of a new industrial country. The mentioned developments include housing development, industry, and infrastructure construction. However, the impact of development has been one of the major causes of floods.
The third sources of deforestation is illegal logging. What is the illegal logging? Illegal logging means the harvest, transportation, purchase, or sales of timber in the violation of laws. This is happening due to the high demand of wood-based industries such as paper, charcoal, furniture, and many more. These days, furniture that was made based on the wood are very famous and they have a high price in the market. So, it is very tempting for the irresponsible firms to violate the laws to meet the high demand of consumers. In Malaysia, there were many cases of illegal logging happen, especially in the reserve forests that were well kept by the government. In the report by So Wenjun, Malaysia recorded 15.2 million in losses due to the illegal logging that happened 4 years ago in 2017.
One of the effects of deforestation and species decimation is climate change because there will be less trees to produce oxygen and to absorb excess carbon dioxide that will cause greenhouse effect, which will make the Earth's surface become hotter.
Next, the effects of infrastructure expansion is flooding. The forest will absorb the rainwater that falls to the surface of the earth, and then the absorbed water will flow to the seedlings through the roots. This is a natural water cycle. Forests are the balance of the world ecosystem by lowering the earth's temperature. Deforestation can cause rainwater to continue to fall to the ground without being absorbed by trees. So, heavy rain can cause a lot of water to flow into the river, but the river is so full that it is unable to hold any more water, which can lead to flooding.
The next is effect of the illegal logging or deforestation, which is wildlife extraction and habitat loss. Due to the massive felling down of trees, various animal species are lost. Illegal logging without control will result in the loss of large forest areas. When that happens, it will affect the wildlife that live in the forest. Forests are their home, but when illegal logging takes place, they will lose their homes and forced to move. For lucky wildlife, they can continue to live in the new place if they can adapt. However, for the wildlife who cannot adapt, they may die. It is not something that is easy for them to adapt. Deforestation will affect their natural habitat. When there is no forest as a place to live and sources food, they will come to the city to find other food sources. This situation has happened a lot lately. The situation that is often seen by the public is the presence of animals such as monkeys in groups or elephants attacking the village.
The next part is about sustainable forest management. Can be defined as an act to sustain the utilization of forest resources for the benefit of communities and states or countries. The concept not only aims to maintain the value of forest resources, it also has a huge potential for creating employment, income, and wealth for the populations and states. The Sustainable Forest Management Program seeks to improve the management of natural tropical forests by increasing the adoption of sustainable forest management practices by forest managers from industries to communities. Good forest management can both reduce the negative impacts on the forest, resources and services, and other than that, it can increase yields of desired products and services from a given area of forest.
Next, the sustainable forest management. First, environmental. In Malaysia, the criteria, indicators, activities, and management specifications at the national level would be used for reporting progress towards achieving sustainable forest management. So, forests use preserve habitats like ecosystem, animals, and ecological processes, and the potential to sustain habitat processes and resources such as pollination and mudslide protection. Environmental pillars may include the protection of soil habitats, preservation of air and water quality. The proper combination of these pillars will differ across regions and contexts.
The second one is conservation. Authority must create an act of protection for the forest and its diversity. Some examples that can be done by the authority is the activities of reforestation and afforestation.
The next is the sustainable forest management for the economics perspective. To maintain the forest management, government needs to decide the long-term capacity to attract the investment. What is the use of long-term capacity? Long-term capacity can be the guideline for the forest to be not used beyond the capacity for the production of woods and non-woods forest products.
These are some of the incidents reported in our local newspapers due to deforestation and species decimation. As you can see in one of the newspaper article, Malaysia has lost a lot of money due to deforestation and species decimation, which is recorded at 15.2 million ringgit due to illegal logging. Other than that, many wild animals go roaming around residential places and this can harm the residents there. This kind of thing happen because those animals has already lost their habitats, which is the forest.
For the improving, so how to improving or controlling the deforestation is first, support the products of companies that are committed to reducing deforestation. Second, raise awareness in our community about deforestation because your power as a consumer is vital to stop deforestation. For the market approach, a pollution permit trading system establishes a market for rights to pollute by issuing tradable pollution credits or allowances. The aim of pollution permit is to provide market incentive for firms to reduce pollution and external costs. It is also can be a way for the government to increase revenue by selling these permits to firms to allow pollution. No tax revenues are generated and trading system is flexible but depends on the changing of the number of permits issued.
According to the United Nations website, the Sustainable Development Goals are the blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. They address the global challenges we face, including poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace, and justice. There are 17 different goals in the Sustainable Development Goals. For them, the most critical problem at the moment is the climate change, which is increasingly worrying. The climate change is man-made because humans continue to do something that can cause a danger to the environment, such as deforestation. That is why humans need to take action for the climate change before it's getting more worse than they already are. United Nations claims that they need to reduce global emissions by 50% by 2030. There are many actions that they want to do. One of them is to stop deforestation in its track. Among the goals that related to these actions are Goal 13 and Goal 15. Goal 13 is the climate action, which humans need to act now to save the climate change. Goal 15 is life on land. They state that instead of chopping the trees, it's better to plant them so they can reduce the effect that was caused by the irresponsible action and they can bring back the old forests on Earth.
From our presentations, we can conclude that forests and biodiversity are really important, especially the animals and plants, as each of them have their own roles in the ecosystem, such as the trees. Their roles is absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen to the atmosphere and help to control the climate. The animals also have their own food chain and various problems will arise if some of the species in the food chain suddenly extinct. We as humans play an important role in conserving the forest and its biodiversity since we are the one who destroy it in the first place. So, in order to start taking care of our environment and biodiversity, it must start within ourselves first by not littering, do not waste food, electricity, and water anymore, and start recycling and reusing more.